Some people can drain your energy without saying a single word. And once you experience this feeling enough times, you realize it has nothing to do with imagination. Because human beings constantly absorb emotional energy from the people around them. That's why certain individuals make you feel calm instantly, while others leave you mentally exhausted after only a few minutes. And the frightening part is, most people never learn how to recognize the difference. They only notice the exhaustion afterward. Psychologists have studied emotional contagion for years. The idea that human emotions unconsciously spread between people during interaction. Stress spreads, anxiety spreads, negativity spreads, and emotionally unstable people often transfer their inner chaos into every environment they enter. That's why some conversations feel emotionally heavy, even when nothing openly negative is being said. Your nervous system notices emotional tension before your conscious mind fully understands it. That uncomfortable feeling around certain people usually exists for a reason, and emotionally intelligent individuals often sense this very quickly. They notice forced energy, hidden frustration, passive negativity, emotional manipulation disguised as humor, because toxic energy rarely appears directly. It leaks through behavior, through tone, facial expressions, body language, subtle emotional pressure. And over time, being around emotionally draining people starts affecting your own mental state. Your motivation decreases, your mind feels heavier, your emotional peace slowly disappears. That's why energy matters more than most people realize. Not spiritual energy, psychological energy, the emotional atmosphere people create around themselves. And modern society is filled with emotionally exhausted individuals. People carrying stress, resentment, anger, insecurity, comparison, loneliness, while pretending they're completely fine. That emotional pressure eventually spills into every interaction they have. And some people unconsciously feed on emotional reactions from others. Drama, attention, conflict, validation. Because emotional chaos becomes familiar to them. That's why certain individuals constantly create emotional tension everywhere they go, without even realizing it. And maybe the darkest part is this. Many emotionally draining people look completely normal on the surface. Sometimes they're attractive, charismatic, funny, socially confident. But after spending enough time around them, you feel emotionally exhausted without understanding why. Because emotionally manipulative behavior is often subtle. Tiny comments, passive negativity, hidden criticism, emotional guilt, small psychological pressure repeated constantly over time. And your nervous system absorbs all of it. That's why emotionally healthy people become extremely selective with who they allow close to them. Not because they hate people, but because protecting peace becomes necessary, especially once you realize how strongly environments affect the human mind. Your emotional state is heavily shaped by the people you spend time around. That's why negativity becomes contagious, and calmness becomes contagious too. The people around you slowly influence your thoughts, your emotions, your confidence, your energy, more than you realize. And maybe that explains why some people feel strangely tired around certain individuals, even when no obvious conflict exists. Because your brain constantly reads emotional information beneath the surface. And emotionally draining people create invisible psychological pressure everywhere they go. That pressure slowly consumes emotional energy over time. But here's the truth most people ignore. Protecting your peace is not selfish, it's psychological survival. Because some people will unconsciously destroy your emotional stability simply by constantly bringing chaos into your life. And the longer you ignore that reality, the more emotionally exhausted you slowly become yourself. That's why emotionally intelligent people eventually learn something powerful. Not everyone deserves access to your energy.